Time there's one little act of injustice, we can blow it up and we'll find people who come and make some mass demonstration around it. Miss Sally lost a job. Let's rally. She'll get a job back. People will come and rally. So-and-so got kicked out of school because the teacher's unjust. The unjust, the people will come and rally. They will come to rally at issues. And this is what mobilization does. It mobilizes people around issues. Those of us who are revolutionary are not concerned with issues. We're concerned with the system. The difference must be properly understood. The difference must be properly understood. Mobilization usually leads to reform action, not to revolutionary action. If we would look scientifically at the October 16 million and more march, we would see clearly that this was a mobilized event, not an organized event. We must know clearly the difference between mobilization and organization. One of the characteristics of mobilization is that it is temporary. Organization is permanent and eternal. Clear differences must be made because the unconscious can usually be captured easily around one-issue items, around mobilization items, but it's hard to catch them around organization. But these unconscious must be brought to organization. We must transform mobilization to organization. We say the enemy will come and use mobilization to demobilize us. Many brothers and sisters who've been to the million and more march will say to you, I was there. But what are you doing today, my sister? I was there. There weren't too many sisters out there, but you know, with a million brothers together, you know where I had to be. I was there. And then, of course, you find brothers, yeah, I was there. I helped you. What are you doing today, brother? If we're not careful, we allow mobilization to become events. The struggle is never an event. It's a process, a continual, eternal process. We say it is our job to use mobilization to drive us to organization. You know our theme is organization. We don't want fame. We don't want fortune. We don't want popularity. We want power. Power. And power comes only from the organized masses. Power comes only from the organized masses. Therefore, since this is what we're concerned with, power, and we as a Pan-Africanist, we have every right to be concerned with it. Africa, after all, is the richest continent on the face of the earth. Properly organized, should be the most powerful continent on the face of the earth. Therefore, our drive towards power is clear. We want power, and we can only have power through the organized masses. Of course, capitalism, a system which in deforming our thinking always seeks to make it appear as if the organized masses is some unattainable goal. Even the other day when speaking to a sister who's been involved in activities over a period of years, she said, Kwame Ture, so when you say a mass party, what do you mean? I said, I mean a mass party. She said, but the APRP goes everywhere in England, they go in the Caribbean, in the United States, in Africa, and they're always saying about a mass party. What do you mean? I said, every African in the world inside working place. Her disbelief comes from the fact that capitalism tells us that, well, you can be scientific about everything except human nature. That people are so different, they have such different tastes, such different tra-la-la-la, that you can't bring them together under the same roof. This is a lie. We will never tire of saying it. Capitalism does not lie some of the time. It lies all of the time. When it tells the truth, it's the result of a double lie.
Peace, family. Yo, thank you for joining us. Right? And I'm thrilled to announce the fact that we are now releasing our first free e-course. Come and learn about Gianni's journey, see some of the stuff we do. Come and join the tribe. Tribe up with us and check out the free e-course. We'll make sure that the URL pop up right about here. And it'll probably be somewhere in here. Check us out, family, because we are building. Come and learn about Gianni's journey, and let's build together.
Some still call themselves colored. That's fact, they do that. But this is because they've been miseducated by a system which seeks to keep us.
The Greek was so profoundly affected by the Africans that the goddess of chastity was a black woman, Artemis. The goddess of figures which were critical to the vision of history, the history of the Greeks in the Odyssey. The woman who draws, who has the power to draw Odysseus and all his crew into her, is Circe, who is represented as a black woman with African features on the Greek vases. The woman who helps Jason win the golden fleece is a black woman, Medea. The woman who marries Perseus, the Greek hero, is a
AYIMBUBE is an acronym, Mind, Body, and Universal Balance Empowerment Institute. It is also Zulu. It means lion, of course. With that, we're working with resiliency. We're working with trauma-informed care. With all of the mind-body connections that we need to not only address so many of our ills, but also to heal from them. There's no one giant step that does it. It's a lot of little steps. Author unknown. How do you regulate? Yoga, meditation, and Bube. Mind, body, universal balance, empowerment. We're waiting for you. How do you regulate?
To have melanin embedded in our skin is a gift.
Oh my gosh, when I say too black, you say too strong. Too black? Too strong? Yeah.
We were born to be great.
Oh my gosh, when I say too black, you say too strong. Too black?
Born to be great.
GNJmedia.support.
Oh, it's time to grab your glasses, family. It's time for us to get started. I'm so excited. Sitting up here, Kid Magic Rock. Shots out. Here we go. Drink your water. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink. Or should I say, breathe, then drink. Take a breath. Now, grab your glass for some water. Grab your glass. Lift your pitcher of that water. Or bottle. Get that pitcher of that water. Simply pour some water. Drink. Or should I say, lift, pour, then drink. Now move your body and drink some water. Move your body and drink some water. Move your body and drink some water. Fam, just move your body. Drink. Or should I say, move, then drink. Move your body. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors, fam. Just raise your glass. Drink. Or should I say, raise, toast, then drink. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Lift and pour yourself some water. Pour. Move your body, drink some water. Move it.
Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, lift, move, toast. But remember to stay healthy. Remember the four pillars. Breathe, drink, eat, move. Drink half your weight in ounces.
Eat a culturally appropriate diet.
Behave. Take your breath.
Come on.
Lift and pour.
You can do it.
Move your body.
Come on. Come on.
Toast your ancestors. Drink up.
Come on. Drink it. Drink it. Drink it. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Drink it. Lift it. Drink it. Come on. Drink that health in.
Drink. 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 Drink.
Drink your water.
Take your breath.
Take your breath. Take your breath.
Lift and pour.
Lift it.
Move your body.
Come on. Come on.
Toast your ancestors. Drink. 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 Drink your water. Drink. 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 Drink.
Come on. Come on.
Drink your water. Take your breath. Lift and pour.
Come on, pour it.
Move your body.
Move.
Move. Toast your ancestors. Drink. 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 Drink.
What?
Drink your water. Drink. 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 Drink your water. Great morning to you, family. Great morning. This is Brother Hot Tip coming at you live and direct. I need to remind you right now that you are now standing in the congregation of the mighty within the home of the stubborn minority. Is that stubborn enough? In a place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Giami Journey Media. Sorry, y'all can't hear that on Instagram. Of course, you know this is the Daily Toast, and right now, this is a Heart of a Simple production where we strive to blow up your old paradigm. I ain't figured out how to get the sound Instagram yet, but family, listen, y'all just bear with us. We growing. I promised the people on Spreaker that I would figure out how to get the sound to them at the same time that I was getting the sound to Facebook, YouTube, D Live, Twitch. You know what I'm saying? We doing it. I got a whole lot of stuff I gotta get ready before DigiFest, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pipe the sound into Instagram because the picture quality is different. So I got it wide like this right now on the camera for the other stations. For YouTube, I got to do a horizontal, and I don't know how I'm gonna do that and incorporate the sounds in there and keep on throwing out some quality stuff to my people. Family. I couldn't even come up with a title this morning. I didn't know what to talk about today. I don't know what's on the Giami Journey timeline. I got a lot of stuff that I was supposed to be working on, and I didn't work on this weekend. I just sat back and I chilled, and then especially after reading this Joe Biden's Lift Every Voice. Family, man, listen. So we have a major decision coming up. So we got a lot of time to make some major decisions or for some major changes to be made. But as it stands right now, the Democratic Party is going to need black people's votes. That's without a shadow of a doubt. They're going to need black people's votes. They're going to need our voting block, as they like to call it. And so this weekend, or whenever it happened, your boy Joe Biden goes on to Charlemagne, have an interview with Charlemagne the God, and say what he's saying. Y'all, I'm quite sure by now, those of you that listen to me, you already know the extent of the foolishness and the depth in which he stuck his foot in his mouth. And in fact, he never answered any of the damn questions, which is, I mean, that's politicians that, they got to have a class for that somewhere. You hear this is how you answer a question as a politician. You don't. So I'm like, Joe Biden title, it works building a nation. It's work building a nation. Thank you, Brother Kwame. And so I'm sitting up like, Joe, God damn it. But listen, not that I was hyped on, and not that I was even voting for him at that point in time, but I'm like, you not making this shit, you supposed to make it hard for me. You supposed to make me feel conflicted about, like, I just want to vote down ballot. That was me. I was thinking about that shit very seriously. I'm still thinking about it. I mean, it's like, after that interview, man, he need to get some more black people around him, because this shit is not, it is not cool. It's not cool. That was not a good look. And it's like, y'all, once again, we've been put in a position where you gotta vote for. We got to vote for him. You got to get Donald Trump out. So I'm really voting more against somebody rather than for somebody. Right? It's kind of that's not really a good feeling, family, to have to do that. Right? So I'm like, man, shit, I'm settled. I'm voting down ballot. Then I go to Karen Hunter's show, and Kamati Carr is on. And he runs down. I put this on the timeline so y'all can check it out. They're having a discussion, and a discussion on the importance of you voting. Now, not that I never said I wasn't going to vote. I always, like I said, I ain't going to say I always voted. That's not me. I'm not a liar like that. You know what I'm saying? But I did vote in this last primary for somebody who had moved me to vote, Morgan Harper. You know what I'm saying? I went out there and voted for her, and I learned some stuff while I was in the voting booth. First off, I learned there's a lot of people eating off the fact that they don't have no competition out there in these cities, especially Columbus. It was a whole bunch of people running unopposed, and it was a whole bunch of jobs. That's all I saw, jobs and money and controlling the city that we have to change. That shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's dog catcher, water wearer, poop deliverer. We got to start getting involved with politics. Anyway, so I went out there and I learned that. And I should have learned that when I was younger, but shit, I am where I am. But I want to make sure that young people behind me understand the power of politics, the power of economics, the importance of all these things. Because one of the things that I came up under was placing one thing above another, not truly realizing that all of them are an important part of a strategy, of a winning strategy. You understand? A winning strategy. You can't deal with money and not deal with politics. That's foolishness. That's fuckery. That's stupidness. And you can't deal with politics without dealing with money. And you can't deal with either one of them without dealing with education. And you can't deal with education without dealing with the social issues. As nation builders, those of us that are in my age grade, that's my peer group right now. We had a responsibility of figuring out how to do all this shit right now. And I ain't gonna say our elders, in a sense, failed at what they did, because they didn't. They did what they did with what they had when they had it. We got different tools and we got different responsibilities. So now we got to get up and we got to get the hustle on. Because right now, we are in the prime of our lives. We're in the prime of our lives, and we have more influence than we had when we were younger, and we have more wisdom than we had when we were younger, and we're right on the crust of moving out of nation buildership into eldership, and we have some major work ahead of us. We got to take over the education of our children, or at least guide that shit and have our thumb on it, and anybody that's not acting right, we flick their ass up off the board. We got to take care of our politics, local politics, You know what I'm saying? Anybody that ain't serving us, put their ass up out the city. You know what I'm saying? We got to take over the judges. We got to get hold of all this shit. We got to do this within the next 20 years. Now in 2023, we're only talking about city council, but we still got a major step. So going back to what I was saying. So we got bumbling Joe Biden and the Great Pumpkin, right? Now, one of my major things that I want to do, and I keep getting a text from somebody that's want to run against Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell pisses me off so bad. Every time I look at that motherfucker, he look like a little lost kid, man. Look like a turkey, and I just can't. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Seeing all these old white men just sitting around making decisions about shit that they don't really. These old fuckers gotta go, man. But anyway, back to the point that I'm saying. I mean, it's like, so we got the Great Pumpkin, and we got Joe, who now defines what blackness Biden. You know what I'm saying? What blackness is Biden. That's his new name. You know what I'm saying? This shit has to change, and we have to make it happen. Now, we got to start locally, but the issue that hit me when I watched Greg Carr, it's on our timeline on Facebook. It's on our Bumbling Joe sounds like a character out of one of those Tolkien books, The Lord of the Rings. Look, man, listen. I'm just saying, man. It's fuckery and bitchcraft at the highest level. But let me go. Man, listen. So Joe did that interview. Never answered a question. You know, Charlamagne asked a question. You know, voting is an exchange. Do you think that black people should get something for all the years that we have supported the Democratic Party? He said, yeah. And let me tell you what I did. And let me tell you, you know how they told me I didn't have a chance in South Carolina? I didn't beat South Carolina. Black people been voting for me, and I got the state with the 8th largest population of black people, and we did this, and yeah, I gotta go. No, let me finish. No, wait. And I'm sitting up here listening to this dude. He ain't answered the question. And every time, and even this is what's even more frustrating. Every time you ask them about black folks, right? They tell you, they refer you to their black agenda. And his black agenda is called Lift Every Voice, which pissed me off right from the jump. I'm not asking for every voice to be lifted. I'm asking for what you gonna do for black people. Why, when it comes to black people, we talk about everybody? I don't understand. I just want to know. There is nothing wrong with us demanding something specifically for us. My age group, my peer group, we have to start making people feel uncomfortable. And we got to teach our children how to be comfortable making people feel uncomfortable, especially when they come across with some bullshit. So I was all set to go on and be like, you know, I'm voting down ballot. I'm on all my local issues. I'm going to start getting involved with school board, all this stuff, voting for mayor and all this shit, because I ain't been involved in all that. Because like I've been listening to the ADOS piece, because I am firmly set on this whole ADOS piece, right? And the thing I say to my Pan-African family that wants to fall out with that is that if the diaspora is big enough to hold the Tree people, and is big enough to hold the Bantu people, and is big enough to hold the Fanti and the Ashanti, if it's big enough to hold all those other cultural groups, it's big enough to hold ADOS, which is just another branch of the African family tree that just happened. We ain't gonna just happen, but we ended up over in America in the belly of the beast, and we're just another group. And if our group is causing a dissension, you know what I'm saying? Why aren't any of those other groups considered to be causing consension, causing a problem, causing splits and stuff like that? I don't understand it. It's big enough for ADOS, and ADOS is a tribe that's here in America. And if you can't deal with that, then, you know, like I said, we here now. So there ain't nothing you could do about that. You understand? So, I mean, it's like, yo, I mean, and so I was with the voting down ballot. And I have heard the argument before. Well, we got to be concerned about the justices because the Republicans and Mitch McConnell, see, because a lot of people do not understand the power or the idea of Mitch McConnell. He is more powerful than I think any of us really understand. You know what I'm saying? Now, so I mean, it has always been something about this motherfucker. I just look at him over the last year, and I look at him, and it's like scraping on a board. This mother, he just don't look right. He just don't look right. What is this motherfucker doing here? Why is he always in the news, and why has he always got something to say? Right? So I was all set to vote down ballot, but now I got to kind of rethink that. I'm not going to say what I'm going to do, and I'm only throwing it out there because I need my people to think. I like thinking people. We don't all have to agree, but we all, please, I'm just saying, we all have to take some time to think. Greg Carr did a class with Karen Hunter on her show called Why We Should Vote. I posted it up on our Facebook timeline. Check it out. Because Greg goes from Reconstruction, built from Reconstruction all the way up to Joe Biden. He identifies who Mitch McConnell is. He breaks down why it's important to vote at this time and why it's important to, so it gives you some considerations. Now, anybody that's not willing to listen to considerations because really many of us are becoming, like we talk about something like this political system, many of us are becoming partisan. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker ain't on my side. I don't give a fuck what they say. Now, when we start becoming like that, I have to kind of step back. I'm going to just disagree with that motherfucker because he don't agree with us. Well, family, listen, I'm down for my fam, always. But I have to operate. You know, in Giambi, we operate on honor, loyalty, and sacrifice. Now, in practicing honor, loyalty, and sacrifice, right, there's a certain rule. Because within honor, loyalty, and sacrifice, my yacht have to be active. And I have to weigh when I'm dealing with somebody, because we know we got people that do this. And I'm gonna point it out to you right now. We have people that will rally us, regardless of whether they right or wrong. They will rally us to come to a fight that has absolutely nothing to do with us. An unjust fight. They won't even tell us that it's unjust. They just want to get you hyped up and get you involved with the fight. And they could be wrong. If I'm working on honor, loyalty, and sacrifice, I have to weigh my eye in all of my battles and all my decisions. When I'm in a battle, regardless, I'm going hard. But before I get into the battle, I have to weigh to make sure that my eye is involved. And my eye does not allow for fuckery or bitchcraft or dishonesty or some of this partisan bullshit that I'm seeing not only with white folks, but I'm seeing with us. Every now and then, I have to challenge myself and step back and look at my views and see if my views are really lining up And I ain't gonna say they always do. And we all have to be able to self-evaluate and be honest. You know what I'm saying? And stop just disagreeing to just disagree. Just so that you can show that you're smart or that you got a big vocabulary and shit. So I watched Greg's thing, and I was like, wow, I didn't really think about it like that. Right? So now let me go and sit back and let me do some more research and let me see if I might need to change my approach in this coming election. Not that I'm not ADOS, but I am one that believes in making sure and preparing something for my legacy. And in order to do that, I have to be strategic. See, just like I tell people, you know, like if I decide to run for city council, whatever, or if I decide to run for mayor or something, it ain't just to win. You don't run just to win. See, for me, that's the wrong attitude. You run because it's the right thing to do. You run to get the message out. That's what it's about. But we done got so entangled with just winning. No, sometimes the strategy requires an ass whooping. Sometimes the strategy requires you to give up a round so that you can win the whole damn fight. Sometimes you might have to give up a few yards so that you can get that perfect angle to get that fumble. But some of y'all don't know about that shit because some of y'all wasn't no good. Y'all wasn't good athletes. Y'all could just talk basketball and shit and football and all this shit from a sideline perspective. But some of you ain't never really been out there and know that there's a certain way you can hit a motherfucker and cause a fumble. There's a certain way you could grab an individual and change a whole game. It's a certain time in any sport where you could do one thing and change the whole momentum. And you can't learn this in class. You can't do that with the vocabulary. You got to do that with the action. And being able to be in the right place and put yourself in the right place at the right time and force yourself to move even when you're tired and make some shit happen. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a lot, man. Listen, in our community, we got a lot of philosophers, man. We got motherfuckers that's just so deep. So deep. They so deep. They so deep that they shallow. And it's like, yo, where to work? Where to work? Where to work? So my peer group, because that's mainly who be listening to me. Yeah, I know some young people out there too. You know, y'all, my tribe, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot of work to do. See, because now, regardless of whether you vote, whoever you vote for, is one thing that we have to start learning. We have to learn and master getting the impeachment started. Right? Because I understand federal judges are put on the bench for life, but I think federal judges can be impeached. So whatever strategy we decide on or you go with as an individual, we need to come up with some remedies for some of this shit that is popping off. Because regardless of whether I agree with what Greg is saying or you agree with what Greg is saying, the philosophy is sound. Because if you have individuals that interpret what the laws say, that's some powerful shit. And if you could put people on there that you have trained to see law in a certain way and see the structure of America in a certain way, and you can put them in a position that is there for a lifetime, right? Then those of us that are sitting on the outside and wanting to get into the game now, we have to figure out how we're going to unseat some of those individuals that have been put into seats that can only be removed by impeachment. Brother Kwame said, my brother was a defensive back for Ohio State, and yes, those things are learned. Making fumbles and keeping a receiver from holding on to the ball after it's caught. Dog, listen, that's a skill. That's a skill. It's a certain angle you can hit a person that is almost like irresistible for them. You know what I'm saying? To maintain their balance and hold on to the ball. It's a certain way you can hit. I mean, it's so many different angles out there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm using that as an analogy for life. All that shit comes with practice, and all that shit comes from being in the mix. And we have to start getting in the mix, and we have to start getting out here on the field of politics, and getting out here on the field of education, and getting out here on the field of social on social issues, and getting out here on the field of economics. We got to get out here. We got to get out on the field, and we got to start practicing, which means that we're going to get knocked down, which means we're going to get cheated, which means we're going to, certain penalties are going to be called against us, right? And certain people going to take advantage. But we got to, you know what I'm saying? For us that's out here, we need more people. And we got to be willing to do that shit, dog. Listen, all right, so now, all that being said, like I said, I ain't had nothing to say this morning. Y'all know I'm shy. I don't like talking that much. You know, I'm just quiet, and usually Kwame do all the goddamn talking. I just be reading the shit he be typing on the screen. I usually don't do all this talking. But anyway, I want to welcome y'all to the journey. This is Gianni Journey Media for those that are new. Gianni Journey Media, on the Daily Toast, we wake up and we pour libations for our ancestors, and every now and then Brother Hatim goes off on a tangent on some shit that probably only Brother Hatim really know what he talking about. I skip around, and that's the Daily Toast. But anyway, the intentions are good. I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. All right, we're about to pour these libations, and so that I can get out of here and get to my adventure. And what an adventure it is, right? What an adventure it is. Listen, family, I hope you took time to learn some of the lessons that COVID has allowed for us to step back and see. We may never be at another time within the next 100 years where everything has to stop. And we have time to sit back and look at, see how shit really is not working for us. COVID gave us an opportunity to actually step back and see how bad or how good, because some of y'all situations, how bad a lot of our situations really were. And I hope you took the time to strategize. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna be coming at you with some stuff. You know what I'm saying? We got more books coming out. Dr. Kelsey got another book coming out. But by the way, Dr. Kelsey will also be speaking at DigiFest. Let me mention that DigiFest will be going down online on June 20th. We will be joined by Greg Carr. He gonna give us some time. We're gonna have a nice conversation with Greg Carr, and I'm gonna open it up so people could call in and possibly act. Well, better yet, I'm gonna talk with Greg about that. But we're gonna have a conversation with Greg Carr. We're gonna have Brother Philip Shock Matthews come on. He's going to talk about oogenomics, which I believe is very important, because I think a lot of us are looking for gold in the ground when we should be looking for gold in our minds. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are looking for Mansa Musa's or King Solomon's treasure, when the treasure is right here. We got all these individuals developing all this intellectual property, and we're not taking advantage on how we can go and distribute that as a group, as a family. Distribute that as a group or as a family, and help each other really grow, help support certain organizations, help support individuals. You know what I'm saying? Because some of y'all got very large social media networks. that if you learned how to use, you wouldn't have to get up and go somewhere else. You can stay at home and do what you do. There's people that's doing it. There's people that's doing it. Like I said, I'm working on it. It's slow, but it's popping off. Slowly but surely. And it's popping off for other members of Giammi Journey Media too. It's going to pop off for other members of Giammi Journey Media too, because we have made it possible. And you have made it possible. Those of you that listen and those of you that click on when you see the commercials and stuff like that, you're helping, right? And especially those of you that's supporting, right? Those of you that's at gnjmedia.support, that went to gnjmedia.support and clicked, because y'all trust that we're going to get up here and we're going to toast these ancestors every day. You trust that we're going to get out here and we're going to do the work with these young people. You trust that we're going to have those village camping trips. You trust that we're going to be having Kwanzaa here. You trust that we're going to do something, even in the midst of COVID. We're going to do something to figure out how to make sure there's some type of a Malcolm X celebration. You trust that we're going to do something. I mean, it's incredible. And you trust that we're going to bring content worthy of you. And I strive to do that because I understand the value. I understand your value. And I want to make sure that when I give to you, I'm giving you something that's boosting your time because you're worth it. When I end my toast, saluting you and lifting up my glass to you, please understand that's in all sincerity. Because the listeners and the watchers of the show, those that take time, right? Those that take time to just listen to this old man rant. But yet, you send in your ancestors. And we sit here and we toast our ancestors together. Family, y'all are a power generator for many, many people's lives. So let me go and do this before I get teary-eyed. Ooh. All right, this is just for a minute tea. This ain't even that ambrosia. Family, once again, remember the rules. We start off with the breath. Take that breath, deep breath through the nose, down to the belly. You know what I'm saying? Consciously breathe a little bit every day. Get up on your water. Get up on your water. Like the song say, drink your water. You drink half your weight in ounces. Okay? Now, on the show, we start off by drinking our water, taking our breath, and we also have a health drink to toast our ancestors. For those of you that do not have the money to go out and buy a fancy health drink, you know what I'm saying? There are herbal teas that you can read about, that you can find out about, that you could go on and take. That hold on, let me go and switch because I got somebody saying something and I don't have it on this scene. Big respect, man. Important message. Thank you. That's Lockdown Pod. I just friended you. Friend me on Twitch, and thank you for joining us. So this is a health drink. All it is green tea, not Lipton. Now, if you use Lipton, you can. I admit it. I started out with Lipton, but Lipton is okay. There are other, because once you start researching green tea, you start finding out that, there's some high grade green teas out there. Well, anyway, this one is made of 4, maybe 5 different green teas, right? And I got raw honey in here, so I let it sit and got my health drink, right? To last me until my ambrosia get done, which is also made from green tea and honey. But you don't have to have a lot of money to be having a health drink. Taking you a shot of a health drink every day. Come on, family. We got to stay healthy if we're going to toast the ancestors. We got to, right? Because we taking care of them, they're going to take care of us. Trust me. It's a powerful relationship. But anyway, let's go on and toast. First off, getting on to the creator by whatever name you choose to call it creator. We lift up our glass and we salute that creator with the mighty words of Ashe. From there, family, where do we go? We go to our list of our ancestors and we raise our glass to all of our ancestors and all of those that are new to the journey. Post up your ancestors on the timeline. I have my pen somewhere around here. Yep, I got some pens. My daughters didn't rob me. They usually take my pens and run off with them. Write your ancestors' names on the wall. Those that you want remembered, we'll put them up in our book, and we will toast them every day. We have been doing this every day we're on year 4 now. We're on year 4. Now, I was doing shows before this, but I never was doing like daily shows. We are on year 4 of pouring to our ancestors every day. And family, let me tell you something. If I done had so many ancestral intercessions in my life, what is that, Brother Hatim? This is when shit is supposed to be, when shit is supposed to hit the fan, the shit always miss the fan. It's like, I be like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? I be stressed about some shit. Y'all done see me I be stressed and I won't say shit about it. And I just be like, man, I pour in the libations. And when we get to the point and we do that selfish toast, and I be like, what is it that you want? Now, I want y'all to know I'm not just talking to y'all. What is it that you need in this moment to move it? Boom. It be happening. When we take care of our ancestors, because family, one of the pieces that we often miss is the fact that our ancestors are, and they are a part of our family. Like we talk about extended family, our ancestors are part of our extended family. And when we start recognizing this and we start utilizing this, we empower ourselves in a different way. We empower ourselves in a traditional way. We empower ourselves in a cultural way, because our culture has always spoke about the power and the relationship of the ancestors and the guidance that they are able to provide us. And many of us got wise grandparents that we don't even think about no more. We don't even lift up our glasses to them. We got some people who were smart enough to move your whole family, smart enough and bold enough and resourceful enough to move your whole family from the south to the north so that you could be safe, so that they could actually have a chance to actually provide a living for you. But many of them are going on forgotten because we done played and we done got caught up into this whole American idea of who we are. I'm the rugged individual. No, you're not. No, you're not. It took, and for the last 20 generations, it took over 1 million people being in the exact right place for you to even be in existence. Do the math yourself. Trace it back. Just 20 generations. It took millions. It took millions of people being in the exact right place at their exact right time to meet the exact right people in order for you to be here. So you're not a rugged individual. You are a collective. And your family is a collective of individuals. This is why we form tribes. Because we realize we always need other people to have our back. We always need that team. We always need that team. You know what I'm saying? Boxing is a beautiful sport. Tennis is a beautiful sport. Golf can be a beautiful sport. But none of them are as exciting as a team sport. Why? Because the team sport speaks deeply to us. Man versus man, as you know what I'm saying, that's an isolated piece, because we know that in most occasions, one dude fighting another dude may not happen quite like that. Because if you got two tribes of people coming together, you're not about to beat up my brother. I'm just saying. That shit's not going to happen. That shit's not going to happen today. Right? I know you. I know you wanted a fair fight. You know, it was kind of, it looked kind of shaky there, brother. You know what I'm saying? I can't, no, we ain't going out like that. I'm sorry. We ain't, so either, they got beef with all of us or they got beef with none of us. We can make a truce right here. But we have to be clear on how we roll this and how we roll. I understand. I know some of y'all don't feel that, but that's cool. I'm like, y'all, shit, ain't none of my, I'm not on that shit. right? I try to keep everybody out of trouble, but if trouble comes, I'm there, we in trouble. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna get we out. I've been consistently good at getting we out. Right? It's always been bigger than me. So anyway, let's move to these ancestors, right? So if you want your ancestors on the list, post it up on the timeline. I go and write them down in the list, and we go and we roll with it. And you become part of the family. You know what I'm saying? You become part of the family because I'm telling you, your ancestors sit with my ancestors. They sit with Kwame's ancestors. They sit with Davita's ancestors. They sitting with, we might got hundreds of people's ancestors on this list. And we all become tribe as we read these names on a daily basis. It's incredible. All right. So, hold on. It's real life here, Gianni Journey. Well, anyway, let's keep it moving. All right. Let's see. Where am I at? Oh, ancestors. Let's go and pour. We got, you ready? You ready? Cleve. Is somebody over there? I feel like somebody creeping up on me. All right. We lift up our glass to our ancestors. Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert and Texana Davis, Herm Brown, Sr., Rosalie Tilly, George and William Walter, Christopher Fanny Gaston, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland and Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Summer Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis, Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan. I forgot Wash Ellis Jr., Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallar, Montague Pittman, L, No More X, Pet Mont, Rob Malik Fakour, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamado, Elder Millie Dixon, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Algeny, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., Jay Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pulley and the Luxter brother, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janet Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Ritterman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Kevin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Carolyn D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Mel Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Milton Copeland, Jenny Clay, Burt Beatty, Sel Ware, Levita Farmer, Agosto Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theodolus Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, May Esther Keachta Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Percy Moore, Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Heather Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lovina Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mary Moss, Sophia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kenty, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie E. Quails, Bernice Quails, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.C. Johnson, Delrita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry Charles. I try to go as far as I can by memory for those that are new. But then after that, I got to pull out the list. But the problem is finding out where I left off. So we made it down to James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hadley Vester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amitep Wellman, Fred Douglas, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas Lula Berry, Lacey Ellen Ohio, Frank Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs, Second Media Triggs, Reverend Eddie Harp Moore, Ellen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parkers, Doris Donald, Alice Murphy, D'Amica Russell, Didi Monares, Gina Ruth Jones, and Jana Callahan. We have William Walter West, Nigel Perez, Elder Basiji Falani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DeFridas Hines, Ines Bostic, Anna Bostic, Winifred Scanterbury, Wilson Haley, Emma Hine, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spradling, Kevin Spradling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Long, Maida County, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pena Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Naylon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christine Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, and Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Brownlee, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Cathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word I, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Urban, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkerson Sr., Emma McClellan, Jerry Dorr, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Glebus, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Roy Irby, Jim Gaucher. Can you please turn the microwave on for 2 minutes for me, please? Tommy Irby, Wood Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, I'm Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Harry, Tom Cates, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Becker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Eno, Baby Hatch, Hat Senior, Melly Miller, Housie Hashtag Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Dorita Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Manny and Charlie Scott, Ali Casey, Thomas Cooper, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mae Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Lenny Harris, Eva Ford, James Hairston, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Ira Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Urchin Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Bond, John Dewey, Ruth Beer, Tim Butler, Raymond Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Barbara Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brownlee Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders. You don't know I'm doing my show over here, boy? I'm sorry, turn that down. Real life here, Giambi Journey. Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Irvin Sr., Michael Irvin, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robert Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rashawn Easley, Javan McCormick, Robert Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Chekamaha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Louis Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Albert, Mazarine Cofer, George Swan, Emmanuel Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Evans McNabb, Benny Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. We move on. We have Jordan Giles, James Carswell, Better Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, lovingly known as Aunt Sis. Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Luddy Gaucher. Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shang Lewis, Ronald Shelton Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks. Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cunterfon, Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joey, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jermonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McHale, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quasi Sample, Candace Simmons, Summer Clayton, Leonard Jones, Sade Garner, Melvin Scott Sr., the Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacey Trice, Denise Goray, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khalid is in transition, also known as Nigel Turner. Demetrius Lewis, Flynn, Alberta Woods, Geneva Simmons, Daniel Tilly, Angeline Gans, Sharifa, Oscar Kane, Audrey Gripper, Dominique Nichols, Ruthie Lane Johnson. We have Teresa Sambu, Aunt Maxine, Uncle James, Henry Monger III, Tamara Dowdy, Nicole Harris, Julia Taylor, Richard Bozeman II, Ruth Carter, John Carter, Mr. Thornton, Desandra Lynette Lewis, Henderson Mosley, Charles Jordan, Henry Essex II, Fannie L. Webb. We got Dan Walton, L.T. Sue Walton, Emma Walton, James Randolph Giles, Sonny, Pete Walton, William Walton, Fred Powers. You know what I've noticed? Do you know what on a lot of last names we put S's? So it's kind of hard when you run into a name that don't have an S. Like Powers. Like Powers. Right? So if you was to see the name Power and his last name was Power, you would want to add the S, or at least I want to. Like Jacob. Like Jacobs. I ran into names like Jacob, just Jacob, not Jacobs, right? So what's up with the S on the last name, right? You know, because because like Brown, I could see why you wouldn't put Browns, but then you could put Browns, Cecil Browns. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But anyway, let me shut up. William Walton, Fred Powers, Elijah Juan Hakeem Nkomo, Alberta T. Davis, Charles Davis, Willie R. Mackey, Dr. Creamy Mackey, Victor Bowden, Drusilla Kitty Berger, Lucy White, Robert Lee White, Emma Jean White Talton, Roger White, R.L. White, Jesse White, Ruby Jewel White, Johnson Carl White, Desi Woods. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because on some paperwork on my mother's side of the family, on my grandmother's side of the family, we got James Randolph Giles. It's Giles. It was pronounced Giles. Jacobs is the possession of Jacob. That's what I'm thinking. But why not just have so the S makes it possessive. So for example, would a person with the last name of Jacob be related to people whose last name is Jacobs? Like for example, I have James Randolph Giles in my family. It's written Giles. Because I was looking for the S, but the S is not on there. But I know Giles. I know many Giles. In extended parts of my family that are Giles. Are the Giles family and the Giles family the same family, or is Giles and Giles different families? And the Jacob and the Jacobs, are they a different family? Just throwing it out there. Fred Powers. You know, y'all see I be having a lot of time to think about shit. But anyway, Drusilla Kitty Berger, Lucy White, Robert Lee White, Emma Jean White Talton, Roger White, R.L. White, Jesse White, Ruby Jewel White, Johnson Carl White, Desi Whites, Taylor Woods Lennox, Jim Woods, Lizzie Woods, Juanita Alexander Brown. That's another one. Woods. And then you got some that might be Wood. My last name is Wood. It's not Woods. It's Wood. But I don't know. Juanita Alexander Brown. Cynthia Ann Wright. I haven't ran into any Browns. Cynthia Ann Wright. Richard Dorsey. Annie Simpson. Jamara Simpson. Regina Hopkins. Joseph Simpson. Nettie Dorsey, Eleanor Hopkins, Edward Webster, Alice Webster, Ivy Webster, Arnella Willis, Ethel Lane, Samantha Damon, Ethel Marshall, Steve Dougie Shelton, William Bill Walker, Carl Rico Johnson, Kim Gray, Stuart A. Johnson, Edward Young III, Isaac Jackson Sr., Drusilla Murrow, Wayne Young, Christina Young, Thomas Young, Frank Murrow. We have Sylvester Foster James and Lizzie Winston, Abe and Julia Lawrence, Ozell Leathers Sr., Gladys Kofer, Ozell Leathers Jr., Geneva Jackson, R.J. Lacey, also known as Toot the Don, Sabre Winston, Chris Kinney, Margaret Minter, Mary Smith, Juanita Florine Stith Gibbs, Carl Williams Duncan Jr., Jana Callahan, Danny Hill, Miko D. Nice Hill, Andre Martin, Mabel Williams, Terry Brown, Teresa Biddle, Lavonna Kincaid, Carla Sawyer, Reverend Jesse Porter, Deacon Ezekiel Dennis, Brenda Porter, Craig Lee Jones. We lift up our glass and we salute all of our ancestors. And we say, let me make sure there ain't none on the list. Nobody added none. The lot of those names are from slaves. True. So here we go. We lift up our glass. Or people enslaved. Not slaves, but I hear you. Anyway, we lift up our glass. And we say Ashe. From their family, we move to the present moment. Let's get through it. So, family, I want to salute all those that was born on the livest day of the week. And that day of the week is right now. We are on Kujichagulia, family. We have checking over the week. And, of course, you know Kujichagulia is in the house. So we want to salute all of those Kujichagulia born and give them a round of applause. I know y'all can't hear that. Yeah. All right. Y'all can't hear that on Instagram. But anyway, we clap it up every day for those people that was born on that day. Today is Kujichagulia. For those that don't know, Kujichagulia. Well, let me ask this first, as I ask every day, family. I want you to activate your reticular formation. I want you to seek out your principle. Seek out the principle of the day. The principle of the day is Kujichagulia, family. Take some time, seek it out. For those that don't speak the language, and you should, and it's easy for you to learn what we're talking about on Geometry Journey by going to free GNJecourse.com. Free GNJecourse.com. Once again, that's free GNJecourse.com, so you can find out what we're talking about and why we do what we do here at Geometry Journey. But anyway, Kujichagulia means self-determination. The modern principle of the day is justice. Indigo is the color. I got on black. Male name for the day is Kwabena, or it's Kwabena. And the female name is Abina. That's Gina. We got a couple of Abinas in the circle, as usual, man. The Kujichagulia babies is running things. Y'all need to, you other days, y'all need to step up so I can shut up. But anyway, we raise our glass to this present moment and the power in this moment that we have to make changes, to go on and to make and to show growth. So we raise our glass up, and guess what we say? We say the mighty words of Ashe. From there, family, we move to our children's children on to infinity. We raise up our glass and we say Ashe. From our children, we raise up our glass for all of our relations and we say Ashe. From their family, this is that private toast, that selfish toast. What is it that you need right now in this moment to move towards the greater you? What is it that you need? We done called the ancestors. We got the creator. We got that energy. We got all this conscious energy around us. How are you going to guide it in your personal life? What are you going to bring into your life? What do you need in this moment? What are you asking for in this moment? We lift it up to it and we say, Ashe. Last but not least, family, I'm going to toast the most magnificent, the most marvelous, the most beautiful, the most uplifting, the most enlightening individual in the room. I am talking about you and nobody else. That's right. You going up. Let me toast you. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family, I wish you peace, power, joy, and 100 years. And as we say in Geometry Cat in, because this is our thing, right? Geometry Journey is our thing. So I raise it up to you. I'm about to get up out of here because I got to go. They're about to cut us off on Instagram anyway. But it is what it is, family. And I enjoy my time. I'm going to sit with y'all for a second here. Hold on. That's some good tea. And you could taste it. You could taste the honey. The sweetness of the honey is declining every day. Powerful. One love to you as well, Brother Kwame. Let me go and label this for the day. Share the IGTV. We going okay, I can go for that. Daily Toast. Daily Toast. Kuji. Post. Oh, man, I messed up. No, go back. You say, good morning to you. All right, so, oops. Y'all still on here. All right, family, I'm out. Peace. Let's see. Take care, man. Great being here. Thank you for joining us. All right, let's see. All right, let's do this. What happened? Oh.
Women, but the most important goddesses were black. Not just for the African now, in the civilization of the Greeks. The Greek was so profoundly affected by the Africans that the goddess of chastity was a black woman, Artemis. The goddess of wisdom was a black woman, Minerva. The goddess of beauty was a black woman, Diana. And many of their great mythological figures which were critical to the vision of history, the history of the Greeks in the Odyssey, The woman who draws, who has the power to draw Odysseus and all his crew into her, is
warrior
Circe,
learned
who is
the way of
represented as a black woman with African features on the Greek vases. The woman who helped Jason win the golden fleece is a black woman, Medea.
Get your copy
The woman who marries
at
Perseus, the Greek hero, is a
LadyWarriorsROP.com. LadyWarriorsROP.com.
What are we, Africans? What are Africans? Geniuses. What are we?
Building on over 75 years of experience in organizing in the African black community. We have a book penned by, or a special report penned by Elder Maria Kelsey called 11 Steps, Consideration for Empowering African-Centered Organizations. A necessary book for anybody serious about doing some nation building. Get your copy at marivakelsey.com and start the conversation within your groups.
Word from the wise, never catch your girls among swine. It's just a waste of time, cause they can't see you shine when you walk amongst the blind. Even when you reflect divine. Word from the wise, never catch your girls among swine.